be solving this simultaneous equation using the elimination method. So I've got two equations here. First step, I'm going to label these. So this one is equation 1 and this one is equation 2. Next step, the whole idea of the elimination method is that we are trying to eliminate one of the variables. So we could try and eliminate the x's, or we could try and eliminate the y's. Now I'm going to choose to eliminate the y's here because they already have the same number, the same coefficient in front of the variable, 4y, and then at the bottom it's a negative 4y. Now the next step is, anytime you're doing the elimination method, you're either going to be adding both equations together or you're going to be subtracting both equations together. So if we focus in on the 4y, in equation 1 I've got a positive 4y, and in equation 2 I've got a negative 4y, and I'm going to put that one in brackets. Now we are trying to figure out if we need to be adding or if we need to be subtracting both equations. So again, let's rewrite this 4y and this negative 4y. So in the first example, in the adding, if I was to do 4y plus a negative 4y, that's the same thing as 4y minus 4y, which equals 0, which is what we want. In the second example, if I was to be subtracting, then I would have 4y minus negative 4y, which is the same thing as 4y plus 4y, which is 8y. So in this example, we want to be adding both equations together. That's a quick little check that you can do to figure out, are we trying to add the equations together or are we trying to subtract the equations? So first step, we want to be adding equation 1 to equation 2. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite these. 11x plus 4y equals negative 46, and then 7x minus 4y equals 10, and I'm going to be adding these two together. So if you want to write a big plus over here, then that's okay. Line underneath, 11x plus 7x is 18x. 4y plus negative 4y is 0, so I'm just going to leave that one blank. And then negative 46 plus 10 is negative 36, so negative 36. Okay, that is the first step. If you've done it incorrectly, if you've subtracted when you should have added, then you'll notice that you're still going to have two variables. In our example here, we've got 18x equals negative 36, which is only one variable, so one different letter. That's how we know that we've done it correctly. Next step, so step 2, we're going to solve for x. So I'm going to rewrite this. 18x equals negative 36. If I divide both sides by 18, negative 36 divided by 18 is negative 2. So I'm going to have x equals negative 2. Okay, next step, part 3, we're going to sub x equals negative 2 into, you can choose either equation 1 or equation 2. I'm just going to choose equation 2. So into equation 2. This means anytime you see an x in equation 2, you're going to put a negative 2 instead. So I'm going to have 7 outside of not x, but negative 2. So negative 2 minus 4y equals 10. Again, you can check that you've done this correctly because you should only have one variable, and we're trying to now solve it down for y. So 7 times negative 2 is negative 14 minus 4y equals 10. I'm trying to get y by itself, so the opposite of negative 14 or subtract 14 is to add 14. So 10 plus 14 is 24. And on the left hand side, we're just left with negative 4y. Now 24 divided by negative 4 is negative 6. And negative 4y divided by negative 4 just leaves y. So now we've got a coordinate. We've got the coordinate, or the solution, when x is negative 2, y is negative 6. Now, we're not quite done. We need to check. And we check by subbing x is negative 2 and y is negative 6 into the equation that we didn't just choose. So we just chose number 2, so now we need to choose number 1. So I'm going to substitute this into equation 1. Before I do that, I'm going to rewrite the entire equation 1. So I've got 11x plus 4y equals negative 46. So 11x 46, negative 46. Okay, now I'm going to substitute it in just to make sure I've done it all correctly. So 11 outside of negative 2 plus 4 outside of negative 6 equals negative 46. Now in this step, we're not trying to solve anything, we're just trying to check. So both sides should be equal. 11 times negative 2 is negative 22, and a positive 4 times a negative 6 is negative 24. So negative 24 equals negative 46. Negative 22 minus 24 is negative 46. So we're going to have negative 46 equals negative 46. Now the solution is verified, so we need to just write that out. So left hand side equals right hand side. Therefore, solution of x is negative 2, y is negative 6 is verified. And we are done.